Okay, let's move on now to our daily look at the papers here in France this Friday morning. And for that, I'm joined on set by our press reviewer, Diptyque Laurent. And Diptyque, you're starting out with Paris's 2024 Olympic bid, which is making headlines this Friday.
That's right. Paris, the place to be, the place to be, maybe. A rare headline in English from the street paper 20 Minutes, the French version. This Friday, Paris will be revealing its official slogan in English, Thomas, for its bid for the 2024 Olympic Games. It's part of what they call the legacy bid. Basically, Paris will be handing in from this Friday a vision for their plan of how they want the Games to take place, how it'll be cost effective and environmentally friendly. The Catholic paper La Croix explains that Paris is preparing for its hour of English. And the paper explains that after losing its 2012 bid to London, a very, very biting defeat for Paris, authorities here have realized that being English-friendly is key to winning the next Games, especially against their rivals Budapest and Los Angeles. Les Echos, the French business paper, explains that a key issue will be the price of tickets, and Paris is hoping to seduce the jury with relatively cheap tickets, starting from 15 euros. In any case, the decision will be made in September.
And Le Parisien paper is giving readers a bit of a behind-the-look glimpse at what's happening in this Olympic bid.
Well, the headquarters of the Olympic Committee is on Boulevard Haussmann. So if you've ever been to Paris, you will know that Boulevard Haussmann is a very luxurious avenue right in the heart of Paris, not far from all the great department stores. As you see in this illustration or roadmap, really, of the headquarters, they're quite elaborate. There's a room for meetings, there's a cafeteria, there's a director's offices. And Le Parisien explains that Paris is really lobbying cautiously. They're approaching the whole issue of lobbying very cautiously. Basically, authorities will lobby each of the 95 Olympic Committee members according to their field of interest. So basically, this time around, Paris authorities are taking a strategy that is, quote, well thought out so that they can make Paris's candidacy the only one that counts.
Okay, let's move on to some French politics now and the fallout from, I'm saying Penelope Gate, but you might say Penelope Gate.
Yes, it depends.
Well, it continues, and France's right are in a bit of a predicament, as Le Figaro reports.
Well, Le Figaro reports that François Fillon, the presidential candidate, has asked his party for a little bit more time, really, in order to sort of, I guess he's hoping the scandal around the fake jobs involving his family will die down. Well, within the party, there's this big disconnect. You have publicly members of the party who are coming out and supporting François Fillon, but behind the scenes, Le Figaro explains that there are some calls from certain members that Fillon should step down. Le Figaro actually reminds us that in 1995, during those elections, the French right actually tried to make Jacques Chirac step down amid he didn't have a lot of popularity back then. And he refused and managed to win the election. This time, though, Le Figaro warns time is running out. We only have 79 days until the first round of voting in the elections.
And his party may now need to look at picking another candidate.
Well, Le Monde reports that ideally there's a plan B, who would be Alain Juppé, but we know that he was a runner-up in the French Conservative primaries, but he said he's not interested in being the second-choice candidate. In this case, the party could look at plan C, which would be Nicolas Sarkozy, but his return to politics has been turbulent. So Le Monde is wondering, how far will the party go? Could they go to a plan G, which would be Jean-Frédéric Poisson, a man who's not really known to the international community, but he came last in the primaries. So Le Monde is wondering if they might have to look to their last coming man.
In other political news, the French socialist presidential candidate Benoît Hamon has met with the current president, Francois Holland.
Yes, an entente cordiale between Hollande and Hamon. That's what Le Parisien says. François Hollande has not officially announced who he'll be backing, but Hamon rather unceremoniously left the government a few years back. He said in this photo, you see the two men meeting there. He said after his meeting, François Hollande is, as always, pleasant.
And finally, Paris is set to get a new fruit and vegetable farm, but it's not where we might be thinking it might be set up.
Well, it'll be in an underground car park on the outskirts of Paris, Thomas. A young startup is transforming 3,500 square meters of car park into a city farm with hydroponic farming, production of mushrooms, tomatoes, salad, cucumbers, and peppers. It will adopt the idea of vertical farming that's quite well known to cities. It's worth mentioning, though, they might need to thoroughly clean and disinfect the car park. The abandoned lot was previously used for drug trafficking and prostitution.
Do we know where this market will be setting up?
On the outskirts of the north of Paris.
Great.
Chapelle.
Thanks very much to Tika Laurent for that spin through the French papers.